my obligation.
Hey everybody, welcome to Forge the Narrative. This is our Monday webcast. It is 5:19. My name is Paul Murphy. I'm joined tonight by my co-host Juice.
Hey, what's happening, everybody?
Who's hanging out there with Kenny Boucher.
So pimps.
And Rob Bear.
Hey y'all.
Everybody, welcome.
What's going on? How's everybody's Monday been?
A whole lot going on right now, man. 40K World.
I pre-ordered Martarion.
Yeah, it's time to do that.
It's like programmed in my brain pan, I think.
He's so good. I mean, people are hating on the figure, but I mean, all he's missing is a good paint job. Literally, I think the only thing he's missing is a good paint job.
I agree.
No doubt. While we're starting it out, big shout out to everybody who's tuned in: Justin, Lamont, Sean, Patrick, Steve. Thanks for joining in, everybody.
Yeah, hey everybody. I wanted to say hi. I don't know if he's going to be on here, but Jake Shear. He's hit me up twice in the past week when we were doing the podcast, and I was like, hey, dude, I can't really talk right now because we're doing the podcast, and then we did it twice, you know how we split it? And so I think he thought I was, like, lying to him. I was like, no, really, we're really...
On the podcast front.
He's like, you don't record 2 podcasts a week? What are you talking
Everyone
about?
should be happy to know I went back and fixed episode 51.
Was that the Doritos incident?
The Doritos.
Watching?
Doritos gate.
Yeah.
That was me. I can't even blame anybody else. But it was right in the middle of a monologue that Kenny was giving. I didn't want to break up. You know what? I bet I can cut some stuff out of here.
Yeah, I mean, like, what I say is not that important anyway, so I usually just, say Chaos Space Marines, Demons. I love 40K.
That's exactly what was going down, and I thought it was appropriate to leave as much of that in so people can experience the true, full-on Kenny Boucher unfiltered.
But TPM, I just need to know, were they delicious?
Every day, all day long. I mean, there's nothing like that feeling of a Dorito hitting that mouth for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, we tried experimenting with this. He tried to put the Doritos in the other room, and he had an aneurysm. We had to go. Like,
no, he left. Didn't he leave when we were doing the webcast?
He would just get up and leave and go to the other room and get Doritos.
Yeah. He was like, Paul, let's get Doritos. Okay.
So all it's done is condition Paul to eat Doritos away from the mic. So it's a win.
Yep.
Right. Had to behavior changes. That's what it takes to make a successful podcast and video cast.
True.
So we're getting some people hitting us up in the Q&A. Any hot topics so far?
There's a WOG. Oh, it looks like William Tripp's coming down.
A WOG has been started.
Yeah, it's coming to FTW Games this weekend. Looks like William. What's up, man? We'll see you this weekend.
What have y'all? Now we've all seen the rumors, and we're going to go down like the top 10 list of confirmed changes probably here in a few minutes. But what would y'all peg right now that's going to be the standout army? Like, no, I'm not going to hold you to this. Nobody's going to win a no prize.
I know what Kenny's going to say.
Chaos Space Marines, dog. Chaos.
To be
Hey,
honest,
speaking of dogs,
Nurgle flying MCs mixed with being able to cast a bunch of psychic abilities to create more true choices, I think is going to be stronger than ever.
Kenny, are you holding a cat? What is that?
This is a tiny cat.
All right. So I have to kind of back up the Chaos Space Marines prediction. I think they're going to be good. I think that Wave Serpents is still going to be very strong.
Wave Serpents, Wave Serpents are going to be strong. What's cool though is like we talked about. If some of these rumors come true, like I don't know if it's confirmed, but if you jink and you have to Snapfire just like a Flyer currently does, it's like we said, man. That makes a Wave Serpent 1/6 as powerful every time you can stun and dun them.
Yeah, I'm thinking about durability and also this.
I've literally never destroyed a Wave Serpent, so it's still going to be out. You know what I mean? Like they're impossible to kill.
Let's think about this though. That if everything goes to scoring, Aspect Warriors like Striking Scorpions and Fire Dragons can now live in the Wave Serpents, until it's time to get out and get some business done.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about it that way. So you're saying you don't have to take the obligatory small Dire Venture Squad or anything like that, but you're saying you can put a little more meat into it from the elite choice to keep some of those more tougher units.
Melt is going to be required, now for serious vehicle killing. I'm thinking Fire Dragons, but nobody's ever done it better than Fire Dragons.
Yeah.
Especially since it's confirmed that you need a 7 on a on a D6 to explode a vehicle.
Yeah, so coming down with 5 of them getting out of the back of a transport that's still pretty strong. Would y'all stop?
It's like I'm broadcasting.
We rehearsed that maneuver 3 times.
You nailed it.
Yeah, we tried.
Dude, we get bored in the pregame. We get bored. We come up with stuff, man.
We come up with games and stuff that we can try to play.
Steve just said that he's going to run the TPM missions with the 7th Ed for the next time it's available, I think.
Oh snap!
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
that's interesting. I'm really looking. I mean, that's kind of something we talked about. I'm really anxious to see if we can transfer the people's missions over to 7th edition out the gate. I feel like they feel like it's like we said, like all these rumors are almost the people's missions.
Yeah, I think that in a tournament you definitely want to have missions that are standard across the board for every round. So I think like this whole random objective things probably won't translate into tournaments unless the tournament organizer is just feeling kind of lazy and wants to. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. We've certainly played in large tournaments where they've used straight out of the book missions. But I think in the tournaments that you want that are going to be legitimate, you want them to have as much, I guess, standardness across the board each table. What do you guys think about that? Am I wrong there?
No, yeah, I couldn't agree with you.
In a tournament environment.
Yeah, in a tournament competitiveness, I think that is going to be, that has to kind of be the staple. I feel like it holds so much truer in tournaments. Real quick, wanted to give a shout out to Nick Shaner. He tuned in, one of our local guys coming into ATC with us.
Also, I want to shout out good old Tom over here from Ireland.
Yep.
Yeah, for real. It's like,
I don't know. Does this count?
There, I think.
This is clairvoyance. You know my normal feelings about this whiskey, right, Paul?
I do.
I do. This is your favorite whiskey.
That's my favorite whiskey.
And I picked it off the shelf thinking of you. And now we have an Irish listener, so I will proceed to immediately drink this Irish whiskey for Tom.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Evan S., thanks for saying how positive we've been for 7th. I can't wait for 7th edition. I think that it's gonna sum up a lot of the negatives that we've been feeling, and I completely agree with you that NIDs are gonna get a huge boost with some of the new rule sets that are coming out.
What are you talking about? Nobody likes NIDs. The game doesn't like NIDs.
Obviously.
I like NIDs.
I mean, if they can finally run an ally for once, like Starblight formations.
All I'm saying is that I love your Hive Tyrants. I'm just going to instantly spawn Ezekiel into a Bloodthirster and kill your Hive Tyrant.
Oh no!
The game has told me that's how I should play, so that's what I'm doing.
Every time.
Barrett brings up a good point. I believe his name is Barrett Muscleman. Good name. If Snapfire is -2, it won't be as bad as BS. Obviously, the reason we talk about Nurgle is because one of the rumors is that Shroud will be -2 BS as well. And if that's the case, Nurgle Demon Princes are going to be insane. Like, you're always going to need a 6 to hit them. When you finally do ground them, if you Vector Strike them and ground them, or if Witchfires happen in a Magic phase, and then you still have a shooting phase after that. So let's say you ground a bunch of Nurgle Demon Princes with your Witchfires. They're still potentially shrouded at -2 BS, so it's still the same hard to hit rule. So I could really see Nurgle Demon Princes in this scenario. You get 12 Demonology dice and 1 billion Dispel dice.
Think about the thing too, where they still get a shooting attack after the psychic phase, so they'll be able to.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
The template, the big Nurgle template, that's what you get, or if Pyromancy becomes cool, they can shoot some brain bolts, and then drop a Flamer template.
And think about that too. Think about if the Vector Strikes go to AP2, you're going to be able to do an offensive ability in every phase of the game. Movement phase, the magic phase, the shooting phase, and the assault phase. You will be able to remove casualties.
Yeah, Vector Strike's still going to be a thing, even if it goes to AP Dat. If that's the rumors, it basically doesn't.
I think the confirmation on it. I think somebody was telling me today in the White Dwarf it is AP2.
I didn't see anything in the White Dwarf about Vector Strike actually, unless it was in that one article where you could kind of see the
I think it's that one. Yeah, the current.
You can kind of see the picture.
The current hotness is AP2, and everyone's talking it up right now. I thought for sure it was going to AP dash, but I mean, it's looking like AP2, and that is good news.
That's
Let me
brutal.
tell you what.
Seems pretty good.
I have not seen anything that says AP2, but I would love it if that's the case.
I don't know if you guys caught my top 10 confirmed changes to 40K article today, but I have that here if you want me to run it down it.
Hit us with number 10,
down
and we'll talk about that for a second. Then we'll take another question from the Q&A.
All right. So number 10 is split fire USR no longer needs a leadership test to perform. It just presumably works, just like declaring shots.
Okay.
10
That's
always is
good.
kind of
I mean,
meh. You know, you got to count it down.
Well, I should say that's pretty good in the fact that most people never fail them anyway. But it's nice. Yeah. But that's taking some die rolls out of the game, which we're a fan of, right?
Yeah, taking some of those dice out of the game would be good. So Robert here's got a question. It seems that from what I'm seeing, having actually just lost that for a second. The question.
We're looking for Robert. Robert.
It's gone. Oh, here it is. Here, I'll put it.
There we go.
There you go. Okay, it seems that from what I'm seeing, you're having more bodies on the board is going to be more important. Perhaps the NIDS meta is going to change to having 2 times 30 Termagant brews and 2 times Termagants with 7th edition. So I can see maybe where you're coming with that. I would have to maybe go the exact opposite way. Now that the fact that if everything is going to score, I feel like you can pull some of those obligatory troop units away, and you can sink more into your flying fast attack units, your Sky Blight formation, because allegedly formations are going to be there, so your third Hive Tyrant, all your Hive Tyrants are scoring. I am going to, just to put it out there, 7th edition, I am going to be strictly in the air. Tervagons might be dead to me right now. I might go the 2 3-man squads of warriors on a Sky Shield, and I might just go away with Tervagons just so I can free up more points to put more flying MCs in the air.
I'd love an excuse to break out my Hydras.
Yep.
I love Hydra.
I've got 3 Forge-World Hydras sitting on the shelf, been sitting on there since the rules changed. But they're cool models. I love the way they look on the table.
So I feel like a mixture is brewing for MurphCon. We might.
We got Patrick. He's someone down here in Durham. He was hitting me up saying, just right now, saying like, how good will like this Armor 13 be? You know, like.
Oh man.
Like obviously, I got Necron, Ghost Ark, and a Soul Grinder. I mean, that's going to be the heater. You know, that's going to be super hard to deal with, and they already are hard to deal with.
Lehman Russes, Land Raiders,
Blood Angel Armor 13 wall.
Mm.
A bunch of Armor 13 and Blood Angel lists.
Yep.
I mean, and they even say, you know, just imagine autocannon is just taking out chunks of armor, but it's not gonna kill the thing, you know.
Well,
I mean,
over time, yeah.
Meltas aren't exactly expensive, so they're going to come back.
Everybody's got Melta-Guns. Do you remember 5th edition? It was 100 Melta-Guns per army.
Nobody threw away their Melta-Gun guns. Right? They're still there.
William Bryce, got to give him a shout out. He played a game with Commissar. I don't need to finish that. The rest of his statement, but like, yes, Commissar, awesome. Thank you for playing him.
I gotta make me a Catachin Yarg.
I needed to state that William used one of the mini variants that Yarg comes with in a blob, and you can utilize him to ignore cover. But there's also, I was surprised that he did not.
He didn't utilize the Ogre Launcher.
He did not utilize the Ogre Launcher. So William, if you'll play another game, if you will bring the Ogre Launcher in, start launching him turn 1, and then rapid fire Ogre.
Like we said, you send him in, he uses the Bell Eye, draws that line across the table, opens up a rift. Every unit suffers what now? I think Vector Strike. I think this counts as a Vector Strike in 7th edition.
Yeah,
so
yeah, probably. Yeah.
There's some hot tech. There's a data slate coming out that will extend the magazine to 15.
Commissar Yarks. 15 Commissar Yarks.
No. He's like you have to load him in the front or the back. He can't be anywhere in the middle.
Okay.
But that's illegal in some states. So check your local, whatever your regulations are.
To confirm.
Check with your local state senator.
So Justin's asking, do we think the Grey Knights should become stronger with the scoring changes? And he brings up the fact that you don't have to use the grand strategy to make things scoring. So that's kind of a good point. If everything becomes scoring, is that grand strategy? Will there be some things that don't become scoring that you would need to use grand strategy for, or is that just going to be a blank? You don't get to choose. You don't need to choose that one anymore at all.
I think it's I think it just makes an obvious point. anytime you don't have to, anytime you can take an army that doesn't require on the buff, a 275-point guy to make certain parts of your army work, and you can go with more combos, yes, it is absolutely going to be strong.
Think about how awesome these 10-point psi cannons are going to be with rending.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know they're not AP, enough to get the thing, but they'll get a lot of hull points ripped off people.
Oh man!
Actually, I don't think their hull points. I don't think they're not. They don't have an AP value against vehicles, do they? Only against troops.
Yeah, you talking about rending or?
Yeah, rending. Against vehicles,
it's
not AP, right?
I'm seeing a mounting of hull points. Inexpensive, like you don't need to take the crow tax anymore to get a bunch of score and purifiers, maybe.
Right, absolutely.
It is AP2 for vehicle purposes. Yeah.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, as we knew, who knows?
Yeah, as we knew, correct. Rending
there's something here that I think Kenny will like. So, number 9 on the top 10 list here, unit coherency adjusted to 6 inches vertically. When you're in vertically. Boba Fett.
I was really hoping horizontally.
Yep.
Vertically.
Paladins get to go and hang out across the entire table.
Well, no, I know we had talked about this with the ruins thing earlier.
Yeah, it's nice for them to spell some of this stuff out.
So Lauren is just bringing up, thinking that maybe that they will adjust some of the Sky Shield landing pad and clean up some of its rules, and maybe I won't like it as much. All I'm saying is if all the other variables can change as long as on top of that thing it's a 4-up cover save, that I get +2 too.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. I think that all the stuff like in addition that just get layered onto it coincidentally is kind of jank anyway. So who cares if it changes?
Yeah, the legs. Can you do this? Can you do that? Like as long as the first 2 turns I get a 2-up cover save, that's all I got.
Gotta cut you guys off. We gotta give a shout out. Long coming. I haven't seen this guy on for a while. Family of Gamers checking in.
Oh,
Coach.
nice, man. Thanks.
Hey, Coach.
Gotta toss a shout out. Thanks for checking in.
Man, it was so cool hanging out with
long time no see.
Also, Mr. Taste is on here.
Yeah, Mr. Taste says, did you
Mr.
guys see how the
Taste.
new missions have the player who deploys first can now choose to go first or second after his opponent deploys?
Oh my God, winning that die roll is gonna be so clutch.
Is that a real thing? Are we back to the roll to win?
The roll to win. I love that.
That's the way it used to be. I mean, all up until this edition, we called it the roll to win. I mean, it won't be that way now. The units have changed. But
a lot of people, I got a comment on the drinking. Our boy Tom, he's drinking Corona. So we're kind of like switching roles. Like I normally drink Corona, so that's pretty cool. Somebody's advised me to drink Jameson 12 year. It's much better. I will get
that's a long way to get Corona.
Yeah, I know.
But as I understand it, they think our Bud Light is premium beer.
Yes, it actually is.
No.
That wasn't a negative statement. If Bud Light wanted to throw some sponsorship money, Bud Light is my favorite beer.
I love Bud Light. I'm gluten intolerant.
Oh my! You're not helping your case after the podcast we talked about.
Yeah.
You're not helping.
Zima and wine cooler guy.
This is gonna be.
Dude, hey man, that was just a meta, dude. That was just a meta.
I understand.
I want to shout out to Patrick again. He's down here in Durham. We just drove by this store actually, the Atomic Empire here in Durham. They're doing, I guess, a 2-day tourney in July, and I definitely am hoping I can go, not barring ATC obligations and team obligations. But yeah.
Hey Patrick, will you send us some information on when the dates are and things like that they got going on over the next couple minutes? Let us see the dates, and we can kind of pimp that out.
Yeah, I mean we are in Durham right now. We are broadcasting from Durham, so we're definitely interested in hitting that up.
Somebody's mentioned the fact that he likes the fact that Dev Dreads and Killicans might be able to score also. Remember those Dev Dread Killican walls? What is it? 9 Killicans and 2 Dev Dreads that people were rolling out?
Oh my God, I love that armor.
That was pretty. Yeah, that was
Big Mex, I think Big Mex lets you take a Dev Dread as a troop, right?
Yes. So you could take 2 Big Mex, you could take 9 Killicans and 2 Dev Dreads, and you have like 2 of their custom force fields, and just come at me, brah.
Now we know that the orcs are changing in the short term, but those kits aren't going anywhere.
No.
And they're cool kits.
Oh my goodness, I love the Death Dread kits.
Yeah, it's such a cool thing, and the Killicans too. They just look cool. I wish they'd seen more play. They were popular for maybe 3 or 4 months.
I need someone else to comment on Mark Murphy.
Oh, here we go. Kenny. Got questions all over the Forge Center.
Burning questions.
Excuse me. Kenny, burning questions from all over the FTN listeners are waiting to hear the answer. What fedora did you end up with?
So,
drum roll if you guys can't hear it home.
It's a lot of pressure. We did put up a vote because like someone did mention that I haven't found a new fedora. So I don't know, man. Like I wanted to get that little flat top one. A lot of people voted on it. Rob Bear informed me that I wasn't allowed to wear it.
Sorry.
I wanted the racing stripe golf hat. My girlfriend informed me I wasn't allowed to wear it. So I think I'm settling with the classic number 6 option, the actual classy black fedora bowler's hat style.
Okay.
That's
Keep
fair.
it clean and classy.
Yep. So to get that burning question out of the way, I will turn it back over to Robbie B.
All right, so I got
Number 8.
number 8 on the countdown, or top 10. Oh, did you hear they had a sighting of Casey Kasem for all you people that are old like me and actually care about Casey Kasem?
I love Casey Kasem.
Were y'all afraid I was going to eat Doritos?
I muted you.
I know.
How did you want to do that?
I got the power.
Tom Cruise witchcraft. All right, number 8. Turn sequence hinted at as movement, psychic, shooting, and assault. No, that one doesn't even count as one because we pretty much all assumed that. Each player starts the turn with 3 tactical objective cards and can discard, draw 1 new one at the end of the turns. I think it was.
Yeah, that's going to be some. People are basically competing for different things during the course of the turn. I think that's cool.
I have a couple questions about that. Like, how many cards are going to be in this deck?
It's supposedly 36, I believe.
Well, I think there's more than that because some of them had numbers like 51, 52.
Are we going to need? Everyone's going to need their own deck to play 40K now. Is that going to be the thing?
You could borrow my deck if we play together, Kenny.
What I'm saying is, like, obviously there's going to be a new protocol for the game. Like, I'm going to have to have my 36 cards. There's obviously going to have to be no tampering with decks. You know what I mean? No
marked challenge cards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna get crazy, man, with my sleight of hand.
Look, I need to check your deck right now before the game starts.
What a coincidence! I get points for all the objectives in my opponent zone.
All Kenny's deck says win a challenge against the enemy character. Like, oh, you keep getting
all 36 cards.
All 36 cards.
I don't think we're obviously joking around. That's not going to be a real thing. We're not even saying people are going to do that. I think what will most happen is out of all of us, one guy will have a deck and we all get to draw from it, and that's just what we get to do.
Man, I am saying someone's going to do it. Me, for starters.
Okay.
I will have my own deck. Keep your hands off it because I can't have you.
Can't be getting me the D3 challenge points every turn.
Oh, yeah.
William's asking if we think there's going to be changes to the Warlord traits. I think there have to be changes to the Warlord traits. I think that too many of them are useless and suck, and they're going to.
Oh, they do suck.
Now they may make them equally as terrible and useless, but they will. I think they're going to at least change.
I think that makes a lot of sense. I think a lot of those charts have to, not even maybe just that, maybe some of the random psychic abilities. I hope that more of the psychic ability charts are created equal.
I do too. Yeah. I really hope that. I mean, the only time I've ever even considered rolling on telekinesis is when I had to play against Kenny's 3 Landers.
Trying to get that hairwire shot.
Yeah. That's the only time I'd ever considered it. Like in all the games of 6th edition I played, never even occurred to me until that time. And I would like to see something in there worth taking.
So we got a little info. Get back to our listeners on the Atomic Empire event at least. It's called the Imperiad. Ooh. It's July 26th and 27th. $35 entry fee. It's a Warhammer 40K Grand Tournament. It is up at Atomic Empire in Durham. I do not think that conflicts with any of our other events, and I am going to do my best to be there at 8 a.m. and play, and hopefully it's 7th edition. Otherwise, I can almost guarantee I won't make it.
Hey, folks in the chat are saying that it's going to be a 2d6 chart, basically a d66 roll.
Oh, that's why there's 36 cards in it.
They'll be in the book. Like the Warp Storm table is now or whatever.
I like anything. I like any multiple of 66.
So I got a question with that. So like with the 66 roll, are they saying 0 through whatever is not going to exist?
You never rolled a 0. And
Yeah, you can't roll a 0. So
it's like the Warp Storm table. It's
11?
like there's
So it's
they'll
11
be
through 66?
yeah 11 through 66. Yep. And that's cool. It means the chart to be in the book. So everyone, if you feel like Kenny's being shifty with his cards, you be like, hey, no, listen, brother, we're gonna roll these dice.
Oh no!
Rolling dice, drinking beers.
Yep.
Wait, what?
What?
All right.
Rob, can you clean up some of these questions?
You're not the boss of me.
Well,
he is unequivocally the boss of you.
If these questions mysteriously
right.
clean themselves up, I'll be happy about that. How about that?
Paul Murphy is about to get muted again.
Oh!
You can't stop the signal.
Oh no! How do you do that?
Can't stop, won't stop.
That's right.
Turns out he
up?
can unmute himself.
Right.
Turns out I need to fix that.
Yep.
Oh man. So give me a couple more confirmed rumors.
All right, we got number 7. Each player start. Oh, never mind. Number 6. The introduction of factions for what can be fielded in what combination in quote combined arms and allied end quote detachments. Because apparently that's like a thing now. Like there's something called combined arms and something called allies, and they're detachments, and you can take them. And if you take a Battleforged army. You heard it here first.
Words. So we don't know what it is. We just we have reported on words. Continue, please.
Well, what I think it is they'll kind of replace the Battle Brothers, in my opinion, or at least be a circumvent to the Battle Brothers situation, to where you'll be able to take contingents basically. So like Space Marines on Space Marines, that will classify in your contingent bucket, and then you might have allies be.
So maybe like only factions or Battle Brothers, or.
That's what I'm thinking, but I mean that is not a rumor. That is just me expounding upon what I have read so far.
Oh, we got a question from William Bryce. Any idea on what armies we're going to play in the live cast game? I guess he didn't catch, but our next live cast game probably won't be until July at MurphCon. In preparation for the ATC, we have a big get together at the Casa de Murph, the People's Murph, the People's Mansion, the People's Mansion.
Does that always work out for everyone?
You're too kind.
We will be drinking the People's Mixers.
Yep, and
playing the People's Game.
It's going to be a lot looser than normal, but I think the next Real Battlecast will be after that, 7th edition. It's going to be chaos versus something. I'll tell you that right now.
Look, if you and I play, it's going to be chaos on chaos.
Yeah,
actually, you know what? Say what? I will run Blood Angels. Period.
There it is. Blood Angels versus Chaos, no matter what.
No matter what. One way or another, it's going down.
It's going down. Like speaking of MurphCon, can't wait for it. Speaking of the Spiky Con coming up, excuse me. Next month.
That's next month, yeah.
Spiky Con's coming up first.
It's like exactly a month, almost exactly a month away.
Make sure everybody keeps tuning in. We're gonna have all the information coming up. Kenny and I are gonna be hosting a live hangout all day. We're gonna be playing in that tournament that night. We're gonna try to implement our bat phone, the commissioner phone.
Via iPhone.
Via iPhone, we're gonna call, put you on speakerphone, talk. Give us all kind of information that you got. So check us out, getting it all ready for MurphCon.
Nice.
SpikyCon and MurphCon.
Black1705F says, will walkers still suck? I don't think so. I think walkers are going to get better. I mean,
Armor definitely did.
Yeah, I'm actually digging. I'm really digging the idea of this 2 Death Dread 10 or 9 Kill a Can list.
With any luck, that won't suck.
Yeah.
But my biggest fear in life still is like a broadside unit just obliterating Kill a Cans wholesale.
Well, I mean, yes. I mean, they're not the absolute be-all, end-all, but they're cheap. And the Gradzuka, right now, is strong.
Love a Gradzuka.
It can be strong.
I forgot about the Gradzuka. That is pretty good.
All I'm saying is I want that to be good, and you're asking the question, are they going to suck? And right now I'm saying they're not going to. I think walkers across the board are going to get a buff. And this, let me go down my list of why. I think having the vehicle chart go up to 7 is really good. Having some of them being armor 13 is awesome because there are going to be less things that get through and get that insta give on them. I think that some of the walkers are psychers, i.e. Blood Angels. Some of the walkers are contemptor dreads, and they're great now. If they become harder to destroy, I mean, even better.
Yeah, that's a good point, and we haven't even put a play on invulnerable saves. So to put in, needless to say, that GW right now is making a push that Warhammer 40K is going to be a little more streamlined, kind of like Fantasy is. I am embracing that with full open arms, but that is in a nutshell kind of what they're doing. So we don't even know if they are sneak attacking us with ward saves being a lot like invulnerable saves. So all of a sudden now anything with an invulnerable save could get that stacked on top of things, you know what I mean? So that could play into some of the walkers, for example, like the Contemptor Dreads and things to keep them alive.
What if they did this with the change of the D weapon? Is that the invulnerable saves just become you could never re-roll them. You just get the one roll.
Ooh.
That's what I would do. If I were doing this right now, that's what I would do. I say your invulnerable save is never re-rollable. It just is. Except for, but you'd have to fact for Zinch to be different because they've only got the demonic save where they need the re-roll ones.
That's interesting. That's a good theory.
I mean, I'm not saying that's what they're going to do. That's just saying what I would do.
You heard it here first. That's what Paul Murphy says they're going to do.
Yep. 100% legitimate and true.
Yeah. William just threw out there the Imperial Knights. They're going to be better with this new chart.
Especially if the charging through terrain is only a -2. That's pretty good.
Yeah. So Imperial Knight, a bunch of Melta cannons and stuff, and then if you add in some of these Forge World Knights we've seen, the walkers could be a real thing again. And I want them to be. I've got a box of dreadnoughts over here.
Oh my gracious!
Not even lying.
I couldn't agree with you anymore. Like, I think walkers belong in the game. They need to be in the game. I want to see them more in the game. Let them be monstrous creatures if that's what it takes. Let them whatever it takes to make.
People have had a love affair with dreadnoughts for years, basically centuries, eons. People have a love affair with dreadnoughts, and they've never been very good.
Yeah.
The only good dreadnoughts have been the Grey Knight autocannon dreadnoughts.
First model I've ever bought was a Legion of the Damned dreadnought back at the end of second edition.
My first successful tournament-winning Nurgle army in 3rd edition was 4 Rhinos with Plague Marines in it and 3 dreadnoughts with Nurgle's Infestation and Twin Leg Las Cannons. That was 1,500 points.
There you go.
I just loved it. Just walking around a table with them guys.
I ran that Metal Furioso Dreadnought in so many tournaments.
I've murdered homeless people with that Dreadnought.
I only had one. That's all I could afford at the time. I only had one Furioso Dreadnought, but he was in every army for a year.
Hey, pop quiz time, guys. Where's the term Dreadnought come from?
Dreadnought? It's tactical Dreadnought armor?
You mean like in real life? Like it means
real Dreadnought?
Well, real life, or where.
Well, you mean besides the fact that I have it tattooed on my body and they don't know where I came from because I was born with this tattoo?
Wow, that's not what I thought it was, but wow.
I was going Greek.
That's actually what I thought.
I mean, that's what you thought, right?
Yeah.
You've seen it, the tattoo.
This just got weird.
Yeah, because I immediately thought of your butt. I don't know why.
Patrick is like, Rob thinks that he is the head tech priest around here. Actually, he is.
Yeah, I'm gonna tip my hat to him as being the tech priest.
He is. He uses all the sanctified oils and it gets the machine spirit going.
If he gets too uppity, I will jerk a knot in his.
He knows how to rev its engine, man.
You know that's right.
So the question. Evan S., I just want you to answer this. I'm putting you on the spot.
Sorry, Evan. Which one, about SpikeCon?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's probably going to be 7th. We haven't set it up.
Oh, what a politician.
It's 7th edition. If he ever takes it back, SpikeCon doesn't exist. I'm just kidding. 7th edition.
We reserve the right to backpedal at all times.
Or 6th edition.
It is our blanket statement. 7th edition, but we do reserve the right to backpedal.
Look,
literally, if you pull out 4th edition.
I'm going to get the book in my hands this week, and I will immediately, but the first thought is reading it through about how to refine the missions. That's
great.
The first thought.
I love it. So Paul, that's
Spiky
a great
Con
point.
will be ready.
Speaking of pulling the books in our hands and talking about that, like that's a great point for anybody else who's going to be hanging out Saturday night, 10 o'clock. We are going to be live talking about the new 7th edition with the books in our hand.
Books in our hand live. I do believe the People's Murphy will be here. He's going to look a little different. You might not recognize him at first.
You can trust everything that I say.
But I promise his spirit is here.
Yes.
Okay, now to get
BG
serious
is
for a
coming to
second,
Durham.
Nicholas brought up an interesting question. He says, I know tournaments you want structured missions, but couldn't you be of the opinion that not using the Maelstrom random card missions is just forcing a certain meta as opposed to not knowing what the objectives are?
I already know. Let it rip, Paul. I already know what you're going to say. Go.
No, I don't. I think that you make the missions diverse enough to where every army can participate, and then as a general you have to make yourself adapt to whatever situations is there, as long as the situation is fair for everyone. That's what I think.
You know, it's dope on that. Like to further that point, all every tournament does is hold the attendees to their standard of 40K. So
that's true. Yes.
It is what it is. It's just yes.
That's basically anybody who's organizing a giant event. They're putting out mostly their brand of 40K, and there's nothing wrong with that. Most of these guys are awesome, right? I mean, they're putting a lot of risk to make some amount of fun for us. But yeah, it is definitely their brand of 40K. What we would like is to try to make that brand more, palatable to everyone. That's our mission anyway.
Yep.
Give me number 5, Robbie B.
Number 5. It's actually number 4.
I said number 5. Give me number 5.
Give him number 5 right now.
Survey says now groups of weapons resolve their firing, i.e., hitting, wounding, and making armor saves for each group of like weapons separately.
That's a crazy rumor. That's not
a rumor. That's from Jervis. That's from
that's literally a real thing.
That's a great. I mean, that's a crazy confirmer. That is. I love it, man. I love it.
But think of
There's no jankery. You can't. It's
subtle, but yeah, go ahead. It's subtle.
It kind of just reminds me of the old days, how I remember you used to get that pull of dice, and you would figure out how to roll them all out, so you would end up stacking all the same APs on the same guy. I want to be as far away from that as possible, because that was garbage.
Yeah, that was absolute garbage. That was actually more shenanigans than the lookout surge that we have now.
Yeah, I used to watch a assault cannon on a storm raven get 2 rends, 2 wounds, and then a meltagun do a wound, and it only killed 1 guy, and the other guys made their armor saves because there's only 3 dudes left in the unit, and they stacked all the AP2 stuff on the 1 guy.
Yep.
And then I see one with the last cannon and multi-melta come in there and kill 2, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? This is ridiculous. I can't stand it." So I'm okay with weird rules that take a little bit longer to do that get you as far away from that as possible.
Yeah, I don't see this rule as so weird. You basically roll the dice and just say, okay, take these plasma guns first or second. I mean, it's not too different than what it is now. It does spell it out to be more clear.
The thing is, you don't get to know all the groups and everything. You just do it.
Yeah, you basically are eliminating wound pools.
Because even now, if you do 6 AP2 wounds and 6, this and that, you get to decide how your opponent takes them in order. But you already know all the variables and all the integers before you tell them what to do. So you're still trying to game it. There's still a lot of gamesmanship that just doesn't make any sense at all in real life.
Yes. I'm looking forward to this new. I think it's a subtle change, but it's going to be cool.
No doubt. Robbie B.
All right, number
2.
3.
Crap.
Exploding a vehicle now happens on a D6 roll of 7. So bring the meltas.
We've already talked about that. Love it. I was with Paul. I was hoping it was going to be an 8-point chart, but 7 is still better than 6.
Yeah, it is. And again, nobody got rid of their meltas. Everyone has everybody who had a melta in 3rd and 4th and 5th edition. They've got those figures on the shelf. I think it's going to be one of those things that everyone sees them come back. There's not going to be some lag. Okay, I guess let me phrase it differently. This is actually a tournament point. There's not going to be a lag where you're not going to be able to catch people slipping with your armor 14s any more than you normally could, because people already have these figures. So if you're planning on that being your gotcha, your tournament winner, that's probably not going to be enough. So people already have the melta guns and the plasmas and whatever. So don't think that you're going to be able to get over on people bringing your high armor vehicles. You're going to have some solid tech behind it. That's my tournament tip for
Great point.
Great point. Couldn't agree with any more of that.
The people's moment.
Yep. Just gun Kieran is now in plasma. Who cares?
That's right. Everybody bring all the melta in the world, please.
hit Rob at number 1.
Well, I certainly am going to mute him.
Yep.
Y'all need to figure that out quick.
Please sort that out. It's not better. It's not better. Could you mute them again?
I did.
Trying to run a show here.
How do you guys figure out how to unmute yourselves? It's very disparaging.
Look, we have power. The internet knows what's up.
I'm going to figure out how to take it from you.
So let's go over, what was number 1 again?
Number 2 is the new rulebook will contain all the rules for super heavy vehicles, gargantuan creatures, and destroyer weapons.
I'm okay with that, man.
Oh
I really am. I feel bad for the people that, and I'm included, all right, that bought the apocalypse and all that stuff. I feel real bad about that because if they include okay, they might not include all the stats for everything, which is cool. Obviously, but the rules, in there.
Well, I mean, all the Forge rule books you get, they have the appendix in the back with like the 10 pages of how Apocalypse works and stuff. But maybe that's just kind of what it's saying. I don't know.
No, I think they'll put the rules in there about how to handle D weapons and Apocalypse stuff. I mean, which is fine. They want people to play with them. Obviously, they have kits they want to sell for them. So I cannot fault them for that. And if the rules are in one place where you can actually read them, and even if you don't bring them, but your opponent does, then I'm cool with it. You at least know what's going on. You don't need to borrow their book and spend 20 minutes learning it or whatever. So I'm cool with that.
Yeah, no, I agree. And number 1 here.
Wait a second. We'll hold off number 1. Let's take a couple of questions from the listeners.
Oh, hey. Welcome back.
Sean asks, so with 7th and the notion of all units scoring again, do you see this as a problematic min-maxing or just another tactical opportunity for more styles of list? Let me say, I'm fine with min-maxing. I think this is an opportunity to take different lists, and I'm fine with that too. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree. Like, anytime that we have the ability to try to see some different lists out there, I'm all about it. Mid-maxing is probably the epitome of tournament play. You have to make sure that you are the best at your craft. If that means that you are the best rhino mover, the best whatever, you have to make sure that you can do it better than anybody else. If you decide,
I'm gonna tell you, you're not the best rhino mover. The best rhino movers are Kenny and I.
There you go. There you go. I am known to move a rhino or two, though. I just do it with scything talons. But if you look into every edition, there's always been mid-max lists. So I just can't wait to see what 7th edition, what list come out.
I think you're completely right, and I'll give everybody else the opportunity to talk or to answer in just 1 second. I don't see min-maxing is not a negative term at all. I do not think it's a negative term. It is just what you want in a tournament. You need to bring the best things, and sometimes those are the most point-efficient things. Again, we've never been against point efficiency.
Oh man, it's so funny you say that. Like I was just thinking in my head, it's like the opposite of it is like horde. I hate horde too. So whatever. It's all like it's like you said. It's point efficiency, man.
And even on top of min-maxing, our crew coined the term max-maxing. Like we're gonna bring the most to the best thing we possibly can.
I think David Boucher coined that.
Yeah, max-maxing.
Maxes, son. Power fist, Kami Melta, Melta gun, flamer, last cannon.
Yeah, Rhino.
Rhino. Extra armor, dozer blade.
That's what we do sometimes. It's like, but it's all about bringing the best, whatever the best list is to a tournament. Now, what we want to try to do is inspire people to take things different than just carbon copies or whatever anybody else is taking. And we've talked about it before. Is that sometimes our list becomes the standard, in previous editions and whatever, and that's fine. It is what it is, all right. But as soon as our list becomes what people are taking, we're going to start designing a list that beats our list, and that's what we want to bring to people.
To the people.
Y'all agree with that?
Yeah. I agree with everything you say.
Thanks.
He wasn't even listening.
I agree with that.
What Paula said, what TPM is saying is like trend setting. You know, like, and if that trend is something that we're doing ourselves, then you want to know what? We will counter the trend. We'll counter ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever it is, because we want people to have our whole goal is to kind of talk about the tournaments, the tournament styles that we like, and to help people compete out there in the meta. That's kind of what we do. Patrick is asking, he's like, hey man, how cool would it be to have 3 Orc battle wagons and 2 Death Dread and 6 Killer Cans? Like, think about.
I imagine he's plugging that into Army Builder right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I mean, but
I like the cut of your jib.
Wouldn't it be cool for that kind of list to work? I mean, I think that's going to look good on the table. All those models look awesome.
Yep. So to keep going with that about Army questions potentially in 7th edition, our boy Nick Shaner wants to know about our ideas about salamanders. You think they can come back competitive again? Do you feel like with the introduction of the 7 on a dice roll to blow up a vehicle, does Vulcan come back?
Only if vehicles come back, but I mean, I think you can play Vulcan right now. It's to medium levels of success. I mean, it's like I think that it's going to do better, not because of the vehicle chart. It's going to do better because 7th edition is going to kind of take some of that like point efficiency restrictions off the game and let you have a little bit more fun with your models.
Vulcan is a good multiplier. He's not as cool as he used to be, but he's still good. He's still good. And I think I'm going to say that having better Melta is going to be better.
Most bestest?
Yeah, but he still relies on having marine bodies, and that might not be the best thing. But what, like we talked about on the podcast, is that maybe you have Vulcan with a bunch of drop pods.
I was literally going to say that. I was like, oh my god, I'm all about drop pods.
I rambled into that point, so I'll give you credit. You can have that one.
Thanks, man. I wanted to bring up something Judge Troop just said. He's like, with all this stuff, do you think it's going to slow down the game even more? Like 50 more. I don't know about you guys, but when I play games in my house, they're like 6 hours long. So I can't even imagine it getting any longer.
I think that the game is not going to be any slower than it is now.
Yeah.
And right now, you need a good 3 hours to play a solid 2001 game.
To play a real 2K game, or even an AC50 game, to know that you're not rushed and that everything's going to go down. Like 3 hours is really still...
But think about this, though. Now, I don't know if this is in the rulebook. I don't know this not. But we haven't heard a peep about mysterious objectives or mysterious terrain.
They said they did say something about mysterious objectives, but I completely ignored it because we all forget to do it. But there is a tweet to it. There's a peep. There's a slight peep. It's a blip. We're not sure how many Tyranids are in the blip, but it's there.
That's inside the room.
It's there.
Game over, man.
Okay, well, never mind. Strike what I said. I'm not playing with mysterious objectives in tournaments that I run. So.
Wow.
They are dead to me.
It's really good. Are you going to backpedal?
No, not at all.
Only if they're like Chaos Space Marines get +1 to their armor.
I mean, unless that chart is awesome. Unless every single roll on that chart makes a difference. And
instead of just one. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, right now, all these things are basically useless, and they just slow the game down. So, no, I would, like, if I were running a tournament, I'd cut that right out.
Yeah, and so I feel like to go on the point about slowing the game down, like, I honestly am thinking to myself right now, like, 7th edition could actually speed this up. I feel like if we introduce a psychic phase, I feel like that could... I'm trying to be in the mindset that instead of slowing it down, that could actually speed things up. Because there could be prolonged effects of remembering what psychic abilities do what psychic abilities did this guy do. Like instead, now that we are calling it a thing, now that we are going to keep track of it, now that we're going to have the ability to defend against it, we can just deny it, we can move on, we can things like that. So I think those are just like small ways of maybe how psychic ability or how the game could speed itself up. And then maybe even... as we know now with Eldar and Tau and things moving 5 times in a single phase, that some of that stuff could come back. Some of those universal special rules that I keep talking about, the number one thing that I love to see when all the rulebooks come out, the number one thing that I go to is universal special rules. First page that I will open up.
Oh, yeah, I don't even read the other part. The only thing would be better if they just gave me pie charts or something, like some visual aid to help me with the USRs, man. Yep.
Tom saying he's been slowly paying 5 Cadian guardsmen for the last 12 hours.
Should have hired very average or average or very tabletop by Juice. Sorry, that's the
tabletop by Juice.
Get tabletop by Juice.
Would have had it done in 4 minutes.
You should start a service. Almost tabletop. That's your service.
I've actually just changed my business module. I only accept commissions as long as they're over 2,000 points or more, and if you need them within 12 hours. If you don't have
and also
and you don't need them within 12 hours,
I need your address immediately. I'm sending you.
Almost tabletop also completely accepts food stamps.
That's right. I'm on a 2-for-1 option. So I will give you $2 credit for every $1.
Put a bottle of Ripple in with your your whole commission is free.
Yes. So needless to say,
look, I'm not gonna lie. There are times in my life when I would have accepted that service. There have been tournaments I'm like, oh, but literally, my wife has been down here helping me paint shoulder pads to get ready for a tournament. Before.
You are the people that I would like to do business with 6 months ago. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Yes, I need the desperate.
The desperate and the confused.
Yes.
And confused. If you got your wife down there helping you paint shoulder pads, she is absolutely confused.
Right. She's like, what are you doing again? I'm like, just paint the black on the raised parts. Just please, just let me get there.
What is this for? Stuff.
It's right. These were right next to my TPS reports that I have to do. So we just have to get them done.
There was
PC loads better.
There was a tournament like 1 week after 5th edition dropped, and they were using 5th edition rules. This is 5th edition, and I was trying to get my Marine Army ready because I thought it'd be the easiest to play. And she came down here and helped me paint the shoulder pads for my Luna Wolves.
Painting the pants blue.
Yeah. So, thank you very much. So, did we read number 1 yet?
We didn't. You ready for this?
It is for number 1.
It is Britney Spears.
Britney Spears, confirmed. Oh, before since you already messed up our review, I want to say one more thing about the slowness of the game, which we were just on the subject. And I've got people here spectating this podcast, actually, and
I want you to poll a question from them.
I've been pulled a question from the room. It is, I think, doing the math and how many power dice to throw at each psychic power can potentially slow up the game a bit, trying to figure out how many dice you have, how many dice you want to put in your hand, like we said, like there's that game, like you're gonna hold 7 dice in your hand to freak somebody out.
I got a theory about this. I'm gonna let you say what you want to say, and then I got a theory about it.
I'm done. Like I feel like I have portrayed this. I feel like everyone understands what I mean.
All right. Well, let me. Anybody else want to weigh in before I just drop a mic?
Just drop the mic all over this.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I absolutely think that is going to be an awesome part of the game where you're really going to be able to look into the soul of your opponent. You're going to be able to look them dead in the eye and be like, "You want to roll? Did I roll 6 dice or did I roll 5?"
TPM. Let's stare down right now. How many dice am I?
Let's do it exactly. Like how many am I going to roll? This is like, you feeling lucky, punk? Are you?
We are feeling no. I'm intimidated. Oh, my dice!
All the dice.
Yeah, 9 dice. I'm a demon.
It's too much pressure for me.
Like, but that's what I'm saying. It's like that's the kind of thing that I love. I really want to be like. I want to be in their head. I want to be trash talking. Yes. Like 55% of Warhammer up until 6th edition was trash talking. All right. Like, and I want to be able to trash talk again. I want to be able to just.
I'm pretty sure that 55% of Warhammer in 6th edition for Paul Murphy was trash talking still.
I tried to keep the dream alive. That's all I'm doing.
He's
just doing a public service, man. He's just doing this,
I actually feel like 65% of 40K was drinking for Paul Murphy. The other 35% was trash talking.
Trash talking, yeah. But during that psychic phase, I want to be like, come on, man, let's do it. What you got? What you got?
It's so funny. It's so funny how they feed back into each other, drinking and trash talking. That is
every once in a while.
Like there's a common link. I mean, like I've never seen you wear a shirt when doing either. So
I feel like if we ever have to play each other and we're having a psychic stare down,
the shirt's coming off.
I'm just gonna mute you.
The shirt is coming off.
Oh, man,
psychic phase, first turn of the game.
First psychic phase, just starts slowly
it's just shed a little nip.
What are you doing?
All right, Tori G is wanting to know, hey, guys, let me know what you think right now. Single unit that is going to get nerfed in 7th edition. Pre-game. I've got one in my mind right now.
Go for it.
Centurions.
Nah.
I'm just kidding. That was an absolute, like, I have no factual statements to back that up at all. I was just wishing.
I'm hoping that Seer Star obviously gets nerfed. If I can shut down their fortune, it will.
Well, okay. Do you think? Serious question. Do you think the unit's going to take a nerf, or you think it's just going to be more defensible against?
More defensible. That's what I mean. You're right.
That's not necessarily. No, I mean it's a subtle nerf. And
you're right. It's like a nerf on the back end. Like.
I love a little nerf.
But okay, let me ask you another question. This is a legitimate question. Would you prefer the unit be nerfed, or would you prefer just you have an opportunity to fight?
Opportunity, absolutely. I hate nerfing.
And I'm not trying to paint you in a corner. I want to real from the heart answer, all right? Because I feel the same way you just answered. But is that the way you really feel?
Yeah, that's exactly.
I'm being pressured again.
That's right.
No
pressure.
Nerf it all. Let it all burn.
You just rolled all the psychic.
All tactical Marines in Rhinos. That's nothing else in the game for me.
I forgot the question.
I think we answered it, but I think now I think.
No. What's going to get nerfed? I'm going to say that, and we've already talked about it. Wave Serpents are going to get a kick in the grill because if that whole if you jink, you have Snapfire business. I think that some of the stuff that we've seen so far, I see you doing the hand thing. I'm actually thinking if walkers get better, then the walkers with toughnesses, like the Wraith Lords and the Wraith Knights and the monstrous creatures, are going to take a hit.
Good point.
That's my call.
Ooh.
Okay. Oh, never with any luck.
All right. That's it.
All right. Do we actually have a real number one?
We do.
All right.
We do. It's a real thing.
I think we've hit our hour.
All right, everybody.
All units. No? Yes? No?
I was kidding. Go ahead. Go, by all means.
All units in 40K are now scoring. However, troops taken in Battleforge lists now get a new rule called Objective Secure that allows them to deny other scoring units while scoring objectives themselves. Boom.
Okay.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
I think that we're going to see some unbound armies that are awesome. I think everyone that's been playing competitive 40K understands that you can make a crazy list. You know, when you take one of every awesomeness and put it all in an unbound list, it's going to be great. You're going to have a fun time playing with it. Even if you lose the game, you're probably still going to have a fun time playing with everything on your shelf.
Agreed. That's my.
Yep.
I want to put together. I guess for the next one, I want to put together like my 10. I guess the next one. Well, I'll tell you when it happens. When we're like unboxing this rule book live, I already know like 5 of my favorite things about 7th edition. I haven't read the book yet, and I can't wait to have that be one of them.
In the comments here, let's have people list what their best 1850 unbound list will be.
Okay.
How's that?
I mean, on Facebook.
Facebook or YouTube, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah. Hit us up on Facebook. Let us know.
Yep. So let's do we only have a couple minutes left. Let's do a rundown. Don't worry, the Greater Wog is coming from William Tripp. Yep, I think it's going to be awesome. Only Sinesh can show a nipple if you run them. I don't agree with that. It's always talk of Explode on 7, but is there going to be a replacement for rolling a 6? I think, who knows? 6 is probably going to be a whole point weapon destroyed and stunned or something like that. We'll see.
Oh, stacking all of them. I like it.
Yep. Factions I hope kills Rob Bear's army of Grey Knights and Dark Eldar. I don't know if you ever ran that on camera, but
I am not sure what that means.
I pretty much ran it once at Adepticon.
Grey Knights and Dark Eldar?
I feel like Grey Knights and Necrons is.
It was great. It was Grey Knight. No, it wasn't even that. It was Eldar. It was Eldar, Dark Eldar with Inquisition allies.
No, you guys are missing the heart of that statement. The heart of that statement is that Rob Bear is a cheese ball.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's fine. Yep.
He is our resident cheese ball. Yeah, there you
Yeah, I had to say.
Oh man, okay. Look, Patrick's already weighing in 8 depth res and 20 kilocans. This is unbound this.
Yep.
Unbound.
Yep, and then Lauren has said tactical drop pods will be nice with the #1 rumor if you drop them on the. Yes, we agree. Lauren, I don't know if you listen to our podcast. We talk about drop pod armies and how they're going to be strong.
Check out episode 52.
This random objectives. Yeah, please go listen to episode 52. We're at our hour.
Long fangs. Wait a second, we got Troy just put up 50 long fangs with rocket launchers is 1470. Ugh.
Look, man, you know how many Helldrakes I'm going to take in Unbound? Like, get out of here.
Everybody already knows.
I don't know, 50 long fangs. You cannot kill enough. You can't kill 10 squads of long fangs. You can kill 6.
I kill 6? What do you mean?
I'm saying, what's the you have to take an HQ, I assume, in Unbound.
I don't think you do.
11 Helldrakes, dog.
Okay, never mind. Sorry, your 150 long range are gone. My bad. I'm sorry. I'm back in line.
But I like where your head's at. Keep hitting me with lists like that. Don't forget, Forge the Narrative. We have a Facebook page.
Yep.
Yeah.
And obviously, I'm not trying to steal Juice's thunder.
Facebook.forgenarrative.net.
So we had a question today. If people mind if they share our content, please share our content. Yes.
Push it out.
To whoever you want to. I'm cool.
We have content?
We have we have a little bit of content.
A little bit.
Oh, that's fair.
Once in a while, we do something.
All right. Anybody else got anything that they want to talk about before we get out of here? Juice, take us out.
If you didn't know, make sure you check us out on Facebook /Forge the Narrative, YouTube /Forge the Narrative. If you check us out on iTunes, make sure you try to give us 5 stars. You will get at least 2 kittens in return.
But not my kittens.
Good night, everybody.
Night, guys. Oh, this is where I hit the button again.